This will be play number 8 of the opening drive. It's 3rd and short. So an even first quarter on the scoreboard, but the threat of points on the horizon. Can't wait to see what the second quarter has in store. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. And this will be play number 8 of the opening drive. It's 3rd and short. Shotgun now for Breeze. And that's going to be caught. Touchdown NFC. A 12-yard touchdown grab. And the NFC takes it all the way down the field to score on their opening drive. Well, we saw that tandem hook up quite a few times during the regular season, didn't we?
We certainly did, and it continues now in the Pro Bowl. You have to know that even if they didn't consciously plan it, you do try and find guys you're familiar with in a game like this.
Well, we looked at each other right when he flinched. We knew that that flag was coming.
Yeah, offsides, easy call, mark off the 5, and keep it moving.
That'll be taken in the end zone. And they'll take it back to about the 19-yard line. Mahomes in the AFC now with a 1st and 10 at their own 19-yard line. A first-time Pro Bowler. Here's James Conner of the Steelers. Bobby Wagner of Seattle. He'll get credited for the tackle. You look back a few years ago, Charles, when the Pro Bowl did that 3-year experimentation. I know you're a traditionalist. You like AFC versus NFC.
Yes, I do.
But for the games 2014, 15, and 16, they tried something a little different. They held essentially a fantasy draft for players. Year 1, it was Jerry Rice, Deion Sanders as captains. Year 2, Michael Irvin and Chris Carter. And then in year 3, Michael Irvin again matching up against Jerry Rice.
And one common denominator, every single one of those guys with a gold jacket, all of them in the Pro Football Hall of Fame. So they didn't ask you and I to be the captains and make the picks. And by the way, the playmaker, Michael Irvin, went 2-0. And you know I heard all about that.
Now that'll be tipped and intercepted. Eddie Jackson picks it. Kelsey, the intended receiver there.
Well, they didn't exactly show patience there, did they? Just down a score, they come out firing right away and compound things by throwing an interception. They put their defense in a really tough spot.
Good starting field position for them here as they come up 1st and 10. They'll start out on the ground, and Saquon Barkley. Give him 9 on the carry that time, and they're set up with a 2nd and 1.
First play of the drive, let's give credit all around. Excellent blocking, but the guy carrying the ball, he was the finisher. A really nice run.
On 2nd down, here's Barkley, and he'll get it into enemy territory just across midfield at the 49. Only 3 there on the pickup, but that's enough to move the chains. 2 minutes to play here in the first half. My good friend Charles and I right back at you after this. On 1st down, Breeze. Wide open receiver complete. And he's got this down to the 35. They give him 14 yards that time and a fresh set of downs. Working from the gun, it's Breeze.
And there's a completion to the tight end. And look at the size of these players nowadays. At that spot, 6'4", 6'5", and up. A lot of guys used to be basketball players, somehow came back to football. And that's really good for the game of football. You're getting better athleticism, great hand-eye coordination, guys who know how to control their bodies when they run their routes.
And he's able to get it down to the 2-yard line. That's good for a gain of 6, 2nd and goal. And just in general, Charles, on a play like that, how tough is it for the defense to account for a running back essentially being a receiver downfield?
It's very difficult, especially if the running back has skills like a receiver, and you're aware of that before the game even begins. So throughout your practice sessions, you're going to want to be aware of him. Where is he lining up? What can he do? What kind of damage can he do to us downfield? And who can match up with him without weakening our overall defense? You're exactly right. It's a tough task to match up to him.
Breeze now on 3rd and goal. And that is incomplete.
Let's give this defense some credit now. They let the guys get downfield, but when push came to shove, they stood their ground. Now they'll likely force a field goal attempt. Well, no surprise there. Extremely reliable during the regular season. Bailed his team out time and again. Knocks another one through, this time in the Pro Bowl.
After the field goal, here's Rosas to kick it away. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line. They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. Eddie Jackson picks it.
So that's back-to-back drives where they've thrown an interception. Ordinarily, we look at the offense and say, what's going on with your scheme? Maybe we should look at the defense and just give them a whole lot of credit. They've got them frustrated right now.
I was wondering. It'll just make BB like, you know what I mean?
So good starting field position for him here as they come up 1st and 10. So after the INT, it's Breeze. And he finds his tight end. It's Ertz. Now the NFC going to take a timeout, their second, as they'll stop the clock with 24 seconds to go in this first half. Breeze now nearly perfect. 9 of 10 in this first half. It's 1st and 10. From the gun, it's Breeze. He completes it to Julio Jones. And he'll cross over out of bounds right at the 25. 12 yards there as they move the chains.
You had to figure they'd try and get the ball to Julio early, and they did it right there. And it doesn't take a degree from MIT to know that, so you had to figure, what's up with the defense? You should know that that's coming right away.
Now the NFC going to use their third and final timeout as they'll stop it with 14 seconds to go in this first half. So out comes the field goal team now for the second time here today. Right hash, 37-yard attempt. And Rosas puts this one through. And that'll push the lead up to 13-0. No problems in the field goal department so far. He's 2 for 2.
Pretty reliable here in this game, isn't he? And to me, that bodes well for them. If they need him late in the game, his confidence should be sky high.
After the field goal, here's Rosas to kick it away. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And not a particularly good return here as they'll be forced to start at the 12-yard line. Trying to shake off the interception. He'll look to throw. Over the middle and into the hands of his receiver, Landry. And way up past the 35 before he's taken down. Okay, well, so much for the halftime report here. Guy can't even finish his Snickers. We're going to get right to the third quarter. Let me spit this out. Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. That's fielded in the end zone. And in hindsight, probably should have stayed where he was, as he'll only get back to the 16-yard line. Mahomes in the AFC now with a 1st and 10 at their own 16. The drive will start with Connor. A nice run there, 9 yards, and it'll be 2nd down.
Offensive linemen love creating space for their guys carrying the ball, but when that guy also breaks tackles and creates extra yardage, they almost feel like he's one of them, and they really embrace him.
On On second down now. It's Connor, and he will lose yardage and be backed up to the 24. He'll wind up losing a yard on the play, and that's going to lead to a third down. To throw, it's Mahomes. Going deep for Hopkins. And he's unable to haul it in, so it falls incomplete over the middle third of the field, and that brings up fourth.
Credit the secondary and credit the defensive game plan. They've been in his hip pocket all game long. They understood coming in that he was a big-time receiver.
Here's Brett Kern now. And surprisingly, this is the first punt of the game for either team. And now a fair catch called for and taken just outside the 40-yard line. Only 29 yards on the punt there. Definitely not his best. And the NFC will take over 1st and 10. They've got good starting field position as they come up here 1st and 10. On 1st and 10, here's Breeze. Under a heavy rush, and down he goes. Chris Harris speeds in for the sack on the corner blitz. And their inaugural sack of the game coming from an unlikely source.
You mean it wasn't a linebacker? It wasn't a defensive end?
It was somebody like you.
Oh, my goodness. Yeah, that's a surprise for the offense. That's not what they normally get when they think about pressure.
And he will find his Saints teammate Michael Thomas complete. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. They give him a gain of 38.
Well, they obviously red man covers their partner, and he got downfield, broke down the defender, made him
think. What do you mean by that, Brooke?
Yeah, he made him think he was going to run a different route. Probably thought he was going to take it upfield.
Pressure applied, and he's going to be taken down. They sack him back at the 33-yard line.
I know there would be a little bit of criticism there because they went right back to the air after the huge pickup and ended up getting sacked. That's often a play that you make. You feel like you've got momentum on your side.
Unfortunately, the O-line failed to hold up to try to keep that momentum going. Caught by the tight end, Ertz. That catch good for only a yard, and it'll be third down.
Got to give credit where it's due. Really nice defense on that play. The pitch and catch was successful, but not any run after it.
And it's a short one here, complete to his tight end. The completion there winds up a wash, and it'll bring up fourth down. Now, the old pass completion for no gain, not something you want to call up out of the playbook too often.
Yeah, most offensive coordinators don't have that on their play sheet, so they've got to go back and scramble after this one. But right now, with what they're telling receivers about making sure you take care of the ball in open field, sometimes the fighting for extra yardage doesn't come as a result. That and good tackling can lead to no yards gained.
So 3 field goals that he's hit now. This last one helps him stretch out the lead.
He's been solid, hasn't he? And he lives up to the adage that every offensive coach has ever said to us. We want to end every possession with a kick, right? For them, it's either extra point, field goal, or at worst, a punt. In this case, it's been 3s.
This will be taken in at the 1. And he'll take this up past the 20 and down at the 22-yard line. Mahomes in the AFC now with a 1st and 10 at their own 22. It's Connor as they stay on the ground. And he goes nowhere. He'll lose yardage back at the 17. So a loss of 5, and it'll be second down. They fake the give. Now Mahomes. And he finds his Chiefs teammate, Travis Kelce. And he'll be corralled well upfield right around the 40-yard line. 23 yards on the play. Now a play fake here on 1st down. Across the formation, he's got a man. That's Allen. A good pickup there at 22. Mahomes now on 1st down. Steps away to his left. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back. Complete. No gain, and it's 2nd down. And they're going to hurry back to the line now. They go play fake. Mahomes. Well, the NFC pressure a little too much as they get home for the sack. Fletcher Cox gets him for a loss of 8. What great push up front. On play action, it's Mahomes. And a big loss here as he's taken down. Cameron Jordan wreaking havoc with a sack. And they're indeed going to go for it here on 4th down. So trailing here in the last quarter. Let's see how this plays out. Mahomes in the offense staying out there. They'll go for it on 4th. They'll go for it. It's Mahomes. It's his running back, Melvin Gordon. But they're going to wrap him up as he'll go